Cats are undoubtedly much wilder than the average domestic animal is. They choose their own mates, who is going to father which kittens, rather than, as with most domestic animals like sheep or cattle or whatever, it's the farmer that makes the decisions. Cats are still really in charge of their own destinies.
And whether they do become our pets is down to how they're reared as kittens.
There is really a very short window of opportunity during which kittens can learn about how to socialise with people. It's just between about 4 weeks of age and about 8 weeks, which is considerably shorter than other domestic animals. So if a kitten doesn't meet people within that first 8 weeks, then it essentially goes feral. It becomes an animal which is more or less like a wild animal. It's still got the domestic genes in it, but it is, in terms of its behaviour and its attitude to people, much more like a wild animal.
This ability to tolerate humans, yet hold on to their wild side, was crucial for the domestication of the cat. But there's another part of the cat's secret life, where they've adapted to being more like our pets, and it's to do with how they communicate with us.
Yeah,
This
he loves
cat
purring.
meows a lot.
Yeah, but
If-
they both purr.
If he's got no one to play with and he's just on his own, he'll walk around just meow, 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 till someone comes.
Sometimes you can hardly hear it. And sometimes it's this sort of thing. So he does have various purrs, yes.
We may think cats are our pets, but many owners are left with the uncomfortable feeling that the cats are really calling the shots.
We tend to fit in with the cat's lifestyle, very much so.
So the cats are in charge?
Yes. No doubt about
Which
it
I think
at
does
all.
probably make us quite unique in some respects.
Do you reckon? I reckon
think so.
most households,
No.
I think the cats are in charge.
Not quite as much as this one, I don't think.
Yes.
It's very much a feline-focused family we are.
By his purrs, I know more or less what he wants.
They get their own way because as cats have become domesticated, they've learned to change the way they communicate.
When an animal meows or purrs, we tend to verbalise back to that, and it's almost like we have this idea of there being a conversation. Good boy. And I think that definitely does have a part in strengthening the bond.
Sarah Ellis is going to repeat an experiment, first conducted at the University of Sussex, on her own cats. It focuses on 2 different types of purr. She's going to record them to find out what makes purring such an effective way for cats to get our attention. The first is the non-solicitation purr.
The non-solicitation purr will be the one that people are most familiar with. And that's the purr that cats do when they're content, when they're relaxed, when they're being stroked or interacted with by their owners, or if they're sitting on your knee, for example. Here you come, Cosmos. Good boy.
But scientists are particularly interested in another type of purr, the so-called solicitation purr.
Cat owners will definitely be aware of this, but it may not be so well known amongst non-cat owners. And this is the purr that cats do when they want something from their owners. And very often that is in anticipation of food, or if you're preparing food.
It's constantly chopping and changing the length of those purr bouts.
And the purr is much faster in certain parts, isn't it?
Back at the lab, Sarah's colleague examines the frequencies of the purrs.
So at the top we've got the solicitation purr, and down below we've got the non-solicitation purr. Both of these are low-frequency purrs, but what particularly stands out quite clearly is that complete standout peak that you can see with the solicitation purr. It's very sort of isolated from the other frequencies around it, which suggests it would really stand out quite clearly. And you don't see that at all in the non-solicitation purr.
And there's a surprising reason why we react so strongly to this frequency in the purr. Because embedded within it is the same frequency as a baby's cry.
As humans, we are more sensitive to vocalizations in that frequency range, and we're more likely to respond to them. And that's likely because it taps into our caregiving or our nurturing need. And it's this, I think, that makes them so successful at being our pets, because they have to elicit caregiving from us. And
If you want to follow more of our cats' journeys, you can log on at bbc.co.uk/Horizon Cats.
You can also see more of what some of the cats got up to in Horizon Little Cat Diaries tomorrow night at 10 on BBC Two. Next tonight, a new series of Mock the Week with guests Milton Jones, Josh Widdicombe and Catherine Ryan.